SMEs and how we can get SMEs to create jobs, there are a few things I want us to look at. I'm sure when you go to the hospital and you meet a doctor, and the doctor is now asking you the kind of medication he should give you, you would wonder if he's really a doctor. And if you also have to be on a flight when you are coming here, and you get the pilot to tell you that, this is my first time of flying, you will be scared, right? And you wonder if you are safe. So the same way as a banker by profession, and as a researcher in SME banking and SME consulting, all I want to say is that I want us as SMEs or business people to look at an approach that is sustainable. Because if we are talking about sustainability, if we are talking about AFTA, if we are talking about trade and all the other things we've said this morning and this afternoon, we cannot get it right if we ourselves don't start right. So my first thing is that in looking at the 3S approach or the SP or the SQ approach, I want to say when you are starting a business, first of all, see 10 years from today. Don't look at yourself as, I'm just a small business and I'm just trying to get something for the home. When, is it Sophie? When she was talking, Sylvie, when she was talking, she said, this is like her fourth business, right? Across the globe. I'm sure if Sophie had not implemented some systems, if Sophie had not put some strategies in place, if she had not thought beyond yesterday or just the day she started, she wouldn't have gotten here. So for me, I want us to look at it from us first. So as entrepreneurs, as business people, as people who are looking into going into business, first of all, the first S is let's start right. Let's ensure that we implement some basic systems. The second one is we are thinking of scaling up. You don't want to start a business and stay where you are. When we start school, class 1, we go to class 2, class 3, like that. We progress. Today I'm a doctor because after university I decided to go into research, although I'm a banker by profession. So I think life is in stages. Michael has employed over 80 people across, I think, all the 14 companies he has. And across, I think, 4 countries or 14 countries. Definitely, he started right. And he told himself that, maybe in 3 years I want to get to Congo. In the next 3 years I want to be in Dubai. I want to be in Nigeria. So once you have those strategies in place, what happens is that you put some basic things right. You think of how to scale up. You collaborate with other people. You become investable. When we talk about SMEs, everybody's talking about money. But I think it's not only about money. There are more to it. Even the kind of management skills, the kind of team we bring on board. The fact that you are into business does not mean go and bring your relatives who don't have the expertise to give you the kind of value that you want. So all I want us to take home, if for nothing at all, you all have a role to play. And that is why I'm looking at the SQ. So you are starting right, you are thinking of scaling up, putting some systems in place, trying to be more collaborative because you don't have it all. You will need a partner at a point, but what are the kind of expertise that you are requiring from these partners? Is it just because the person looks like has the money, so you bring the person on board? No. If the person's value and your values don't resonate, I'm sorry, you're going to fail. If the principles of the person you are bringing on board does not resonate with your principles, I'm sorry, you're going to fail. I'm a Harvard-trained entrepreneur. And what I always like about Harvard is that the practicality is what they teach. And the point is that you just don't bring people on board. You just don't go for people's money because you need investors. You need to look at certain basic principles. How can you become sustainable if the first 2 is not there? But now, because you have the first 2 in place, if you were thinking of going in the next 10 years, you will go earlier than 10 years because you've put the right things in place. I think I saw something here and I want to go back to it. It says, so it's on the exhibition desk. It says, don't be afraid to fail. Failure is the only way you can succeed. And I think I really agree, and I'm sure you do agree as well. So if people have done it and they have failed, Why do I have to do it and fail? Because you need to research. You need to do some sort of feasibility study before you venture into any kind of business. So now we are talking about sustainability. You've started right. You've put the right team on board. You yourself as the leader or the manager, are you continuously improving yourself? Because you see, knowledge is wide and is big. The more you improve yourself in terms of knowledge, now we are using collaborative tools. Today we've had sessions with people online. 3 years, 2 years, even 2 years, that's 2019. Although developed worlds, these were common things, Skypes were there and all that. It wasn't so common in Ghana, where I come from. I remember I spoke about using collaborative tools and doing Skype and Zooms instead of being physically present to train people. This was in 2009, in 2010, when I had the privilege to go outside to study, so I had seen that it is possible. But today, due to COVID, we've all adapted. So as entrepreneurs, if we are thinking of scaling up, if we are thinking of growing businesses that would go beyond us, we need some sort of succession planning. We need to be ready to succeed or to get other people to succeed us. It means that we don't just have to do things anyhow and anyway. Banks have money. There are money everywhere to give to you. But I asked you from the beginning, how would you feel when you are boarding a plane and the pilot tells you, this is my first time? Or a doctor asks you, you have gone to see a doctor and the doctor is now asking you the kind of medicine he should give to you. You don't know, that's why you're there. So the same way in business, if you are thinking of growing our businesses, if you are thinking of, going beyond Africa or even beyond Ghana. So I'm thinking of coming to Rwanda. I'm thinking of going to Gambia, South Africa. It means that I have to do a few things right. We need to put the basic systems in place. We need to implement, basic systems. You don't need to go and hire a high-end accountant. But there are lots of students. Today we are talking about practical things. For me, it's not about the theory and a lot of the talk that we've heard. What are some of the practical things we can do to move ahead as business people? To make it more practical, I have done research. Probably you have money, I don't have. Probably you have the connections in government. So we have an ecosystem where you have a role to play. So when I do my research and I come, and I tell you that I think we should reduce the taxes. In my country, Ghana, for instance, when somebody wants to register a business, probably it's quite easy, not too difficult compared to other countries. But once the business takes on, definitely every business will take you about 2 to 3 years if you will even succeed. The first 2 to 3 years is very tough. But then now, internal revenue is coming at me. All the taxes are being pumped, whether you are making money or not. Nobody cares about what is happening to you. So now I have done that research. I come to you, give me the money, I support the SME, who cannot get the bank to support because the right systems are not in place.
I pledged. We are already doing within our company, AfriConnect. It's a transformative mobile application. Started here in Kigali, Rwanda, but will be covering all of Africa as well as the global diaspora of African descent. We've started an ASR program. So usually you hear about CSR, corporate social responsibility. We call ours African social responsibility. So we have already brought on board, I think now we have 3 interns. All of them are fresh graduates. So because our mobile application covers many sectors, each of these interns is specialized in one sector or another. So we have one intern that's in legal in Nigeria that helps with contracts, drafting legal documents. We have another intern that's more like a generalist, like an all-rounder. And then we have another intern that's in agriculture, so a soil scientist. So pretty much we're giving all of these young people their first professional opportunities within the work industry. And you can just imagine that working with a startup in COVID, in Africa, in technology, is quite challenging as it is. So it's not a comfortable ride at all in terms of like being an intern with a large company. So we're happy to be doing that ASR for young people in Africa, and we're also learning a lot from them as well, because young people have a lot to teach us too, so we don't want to just be having a one-way relationship. It's more like an exchange, an equitable partnership, if you will.
The talk is too much, and it's time for all of us to take the talk into action. On this note, I would like to say, don't forget the S-Cube. Start, scale up, and sustain your businesses. Thank you.